Hey, Shalom Markins is Rakam Kapash from Jimis London. We're going to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Shavachach Wadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hope for that expression is truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video, and I was watching this video here from Jason A's channel. You know, showing a few clips and that, but predominantly, he's going into the video's clips is going into this conversation Joe Rogan was having with Cat Williams, and they're smoking on the cast and all this kind of stuff and whatever, man. But what's interesting is that all these conversations that are being had, and these are just guys out there that don't know the truth really. They might know or see things that they believe, all right, but they don't have the truth. And these conversations are being had globally, right? And even these people that don't know the whole truth, these things that we've been speaking out there on the highways and byways, the prophets that have been prophesying out there on the highways and byways, these things are being discussed, amongst our community, other communities, about what these things might mean, right? And like I said, these are just four essential purposes, bug outs in the world, these are just guys out there in the world trying to make sense of what it is that what they're seeing or what they're experiencing, man, are high. These are just guys in the world, right? That don't really have the answers to, the things that they're really speaking about, right? But the prophets do, and you could tell, like, these guys, they've heard us, obviously, right? The language that he used, Cat Williams is going into hell or Hades, like who who breaks that down like that? It's us. These guys don't really break down these understand these things or the words and all that kind of stuff. That begins with our elders and apostles, man. And so these conversations are being had out there in the world, right? And they're seeing things. Okay, they're starting to see the things that we are prophesying about, but to the most part, it's not going to help most of these individuals. If it be that some of these individuals, they come out of the world and become men of the Lord, then that's what it is. But for the majority of these people, man, they're edging closer to realizing the truth, but they lack the time or essentially, really just the election to really do anything about it. They're not really going to do anything about it. Even if they see or know certain things, they're not going to do anything about it. Joel's just gonna continue doing his podcast, and Cat's just gonna do what he's doing. They're not gonna give up their lives and become men of the Lord and teach this truth. They're not gonna do that, right? But they'll have these discussions and on these talk shows and whatever, man. But they're not the only people having these conversations, man. And that's because of the beginning of our elders and apostles. These things are being spoken about out there, right? Because the truth has gone out into the four corners of the earth. And that's what I'm gonna open up with, right? But what I was gonna say is, it's sad to see, that these guys they can see what maybe what the mark of the beast is and that kind of stuff. But you have other camps out there, okay, who are in denial, drowning, right? Can't see it and don't push it. The mark of the beast for your other camps, man, is everything but the market. The RFID microchip or the implantable chip. It's everything but. And your breakdowns, your goofy breakdowns don't make no damn sense. Okay, but you're holding fast to that. But the guys, these two guys who don't really know the truth like that, they can see it. All right. But yeah, let me open up with this. This is Matthew 24 and verse 14. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, right? So everybody's hearing this. Right? It's not for everybody to be saved by it, but everybody is hearing this. Okay, that's why our videos and they go around the world through the internet, through the power of the internet that the Lord has provided us with, the unicorn, right? The Lord has had that happen so it can be spread out for the four corners of the earth. And so people are hearing this, right? And thinking about these things, the things that we're saying, even if you don't like what we're saying, even if you don't believe what we're saying, you having thoughts about them. You start to look at your Bibles, right? Guys like Vocab, they're coming out the woodwork, looking at the Bible, actually looking at it for the first time properly, or trying to. So they're still struggling. Their tables been made to snare. But you're actually going into it because you're being challenged. Your conventional understanding of the Bible, which is completely off, has been challenged, man, by real men, right? Real men, the Lord has called you to open up your book properly and actually go study, right? So you're having these discussions, these talks are taking place in the world, man. Whether or not we're right or not, whether or not, it's true and all these types of things. And then when you go on to look at things, all right, it does say that. And then because for the most part, people just want to refuse the truth. And so even if they find out, oh yeah, what he was saying was right here, they'll find some other type of angle to try and justify their belief system. And so the debate goes on, with them. They're just fighting with themselves, man. You ain't fighting with us, right? You're just fighting against the word. But like I said, these discussions are taking place, and and that's good. It's healthy, right? Because the word of the Lord is being pushed out there. All right, as is foretold, right? So, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come, right? So this is mandatory. This has to happen, right? All the world has to hear this, man. Even though it's not, for all to be saved, right? This is only for the elect to be saved, right? But obviously, these, like I said, the word is out there, right? Being discussed, just like it did in the time of Rome. How I tried to turn up, man. It turned things on its head, and it's causing all kinds of rifts and division, as the Lord said he would. He came to bring division, man, and that's what it did. So, like I said, it's causing all these talking points to come up and be discussed. Okay. This is from Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 8. 8? Okay. Let me start from the top, verse 1. Right, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, right? So times are getting worse. I think everybody can see that, right? Even if you pretend to not see it, things is getting worse. You're being, put on the progressive gravy train. This world tries to put, like, this world is getting more democratic and more liberal, all this fucking bullshit, all this fucking bullshit that goes on that side, right? But people really know things are just really getting worse, right? But it's pretty incorrect to target out certain things, right? Right, but people know, right? So things are getting more worse, things are becoming more evil, but the evil days are not yet come, right? So you still have time to get right with the Lord. Okay, if you're meant to get right with the Lord, right? You got time, but we seek the Creator, seek the Lord in our youth, right? While we have time, okay? Because in the time when the evil days come, man, you be shit out of luck, man. Okay, you left it too late, right? But anyway, so when the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, right? And we've seen the loss of jobs, the loss of good jobs, right? More and more homeless people, more and more people on benefits, all these types of things is happening. People are getting grinded into the dirt, right? Being replaced by machines, by AIs, but just because of corporate greed and all of that, right? So those days are coming. It's ever increasing, right? So the grinders cease because they're few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, right? And people are starting to see, like I said, the things that we're speaking about before, back in the days of our elders and apostles, when they were speaking these things, these prophecies, right, and what was about to happen. People couldn't see it at all. Like that seemed like an impossibility. That it could never come to pass. Right, the MOTB, things like this, it could never come to, like, it would never come to pass because that just sounds too science fiction for them. Right, it's something that belonged in a movie, but we've beginning of Elders and Apostles told you for a long time, the things that they put in these movies are really their desires, man, and their plans and what they want to do, and they're just setting your mind up for it, man. That one day we could be here, and lo and behold, a lot of the stuff that's in these movies is now here, right? And there's still more stuff that they want to do, right, and that they're gonna do, that they've been working on, researching, developing, right, to bring into society, and it's happening. Cashless digital societies. Like I said, these implantable devices. We've got Neuralink now. Okay, we've had the RFID implantable hand chips around for a little while. It's just not been on mass. It's not been made like proper public like that. But The time is coming where that's all coming, where that's all going to be out there in the open and put upon the people, right? So it seemed like fantasy to begin with, but now people are starting to see more and more of the things that we were saying because they are manifesting. All right, and so they think that they got an idea of how things are going to work, but it can't be exactly what we said because that's just crazy. How's everyone going to get be enslaved? Why's the Lord going to come and destroy everybody, enslave everyone? These Negroes, they're going to be on top. They're going to be ruling. They don't want to believe those things because it's just like the worst case scenario for them, for the majority of these people out here. And so they got their own versions of what things might be because like I said, Joe Rogan and Cat Williams, they'll be discussing about the MOTB and all these black holes and all kinds of shit, right? But who's on there discussing, is the Israelites going to rule? Are these people going to get put into slavery? Do you deserve to be put in slavery? All these types of things. Who is Esau? Like I said, there's some discussions out there, obviously, but they don't really want that reality. But they want to seem like they know what's going on. But they look for the windows darkened, man. They don't really understand ultimately what all this means, what it's all going to amount to, right? Because I said they're not going to do shit about it anyway. They're gonna, these guys would usually do. So, oh yeah, when this day comes, we're gonna stock up. We're gonna build bunkers like fucking Rick Ross, that fucking dumb nigga, right? And just announce it to everybody. Yo, we got bunkers. You're not the only one. Who do you call that? Elon or Bill Gates or some shit? we got bunkers too. You dumb niggas, man. Just announce it, innit? So everyone knows that you got shit. So when the times get tough, they're gonna come after you, bro. It's like, oh man, keep that shit private, man. If you're gonna do some shit like that. But no, these, just fucking Jake clowns. Jake just be clowning, innit? Yeah, me must be clowning anyway. So yeah, and so they got a little bit of information, but they're not gonna deal with it the correct way. They just think, oh yeah, if I do this, I'll be all right. No, you ain't gonna be all right. Only the elect are gonna make it out of this, man, in a good fashion. Right? And it doesn't matter what these people think about doing with this information that they think they have. Right? It's not gonna save them. If you're not a Jake, or if you ain't of the elect, you're gonna be destroyed. Right? And if you ain't an Israelite, man, you're gonna get in slavery if you ain't destroyed, And so what can you do? What can you really do? Other than accept what's coming. So they think they know a little something. Like I said, the only reason why they're having this discussion is because the men of the Lord have been out there talking about it and prophesying about it. Okay, well, what are they doing with this information? If they're not men of the Lord, they're not going to use it right. They're just going to talk about it and get monetized off it. Because people want to hear what Joe Rogan's got to say in these trippy conversations that they have. But that's what they're for, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, these things, it helps share those talking points with bigger platform, bigger groups of people and whatever, man. But really, this information is really stemming from us. This understanding of the MOTB and all these types of things and what's going to happen. All right. Like I said, they don't see the full picture. They can't see the bigger picture. All right. It's Isaiah 42 and verse 18 here. It says, Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. Right? So even like I say that guys like Cat Williams, he's a light, right? But he on one side of things, like, yeah, he sounds deep, and he probably thinks he's a little bit deep. Because he's contemplating all these things now, But what do you know? What do you really know? Right? Because like I say, what do you do with this information? Are you on the money? Or are you just thinking that you're deep? Thinking that you're right? Really, these men are still blind. But they can see a little bit, like I say, through a darkened window. Right? It's to see many things, but thou observest not. right? Yeah, you see this, you understand this, but but you're not really seeing it. You're not really understanding it, right? And open if the ears, but hear if not. So you've heard these things, but you've not really heard it properly, you know. So who is sorry? That was what I wanted. Is Romans 11 verse 7 says, "What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." Right. So the only people that really have a clear understanding of really what's going on are the Lord's elect, and then the Lord. Okay, the Lord's prophets. Everybody else is a pseudo prophet. Everyone's like a pseudo intellectual. Everybody else is blind and deaf. Even though they may know a little something, but if it's not accurate, if it's not 100%, then what good is it to you? What good is it to you? What do you do? I say, what do you do with this information that they've given you? What do you do with it? Are they telling you what to do with it? Is what they're telling you good advice? Good, is it accurate? No. And so it's wasteful. It's just wasted, essentially. It serves little point. Because let's just, okay, for instance, let's just say, right, Kat and Joe, they convinced all their followers or their subscribers, watchers, or whatever, right, to not take the implantable RFID chip. Let's just say they did that. They managed to convince people not to take it, right? Now what? If you haven't got your Yahweh Shem, man, it does not matter, man. You're just gonna get put to death. It's just really, it's just that. Like, you need everything. Like, you need all the truth. You need the truth. You need the truth of this whole situation, man, to be able to be delivered, right? Because just because you resist to take the mark doesn't mean shit. Most High is still gonna find a way to put you to death because you're not chosen. You're not be a part of this thing. Esau's gonna find you, put bullets in you, or do whatever. Do whatever he's gonna do, right? To end your life, or you're gonna get blown up, whatever it is. However it is that the Most High takes people out, or does whatever he's doing to them, right? Simply just knowing not to take the MOTB, or that the government's going to control you and all this kind of stuff. That's not going to be enough to deliver you, right? This is a battle of faith, right? It's a battle of faith. It's a spiritual war, right? And if you ain't with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, you ain't got no protection, man. You ain't protecting yourself in all of this, man. Just because you think, oh, I'm not going to take the MOTB, that's all good. Yeah, don't take it, but just know that just because you decided that or believe that you're going to do that doesn't mean shit if the Lord isn't with you, man, or you ain't with the Lord. You ain't submitting yourself to the Most High and Yahweh Shai. It's not going to mean nothing, right? If you ain't chosen, it ain't going to mean nothing, man. All right. So anyway, back here it says, "What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day." Right. So they've been left blind and deaf. Right. And David said, "Let their table be made a snare." Right. So the man that opened the books now is like, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, that's what it is. Mark of the beast. That's what it is. Yeah, that implantable. Yeah, we ain't gonna take that because that's of the devil. Yeah, but you don't understand anything else. You don't understand or know anything else. You don't know the names of the Lord or his son. You don't know, keeping the laws to the best of your ability. You don't know none of these things. You don't know what's going to happen afterwards. There's so much things you're missing or you don't believe in. You've heard it, but you don't believe. No, I don't believe that part though. And so all this is wasted on you. What you do know is wasted. Right, your table has been made a snare. This knowledge of these scriptures, man, has been made a snare unto you, man. You're just trapped. Not to your good, right? So let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back always. All right. Did I start off? I didn't. I don't know. That doesn't matter. This is Jeremiah 29 and verse 19. It says, because they have not hearkened to my words, saith the Lord, which I sent unto them by my servants, the prophets. The prophets are out here. They've been out here, beginning of elders and apostles and even their elders before them, right? Spreading this word, spreading this gospel. And people have heard this, man, right? A lot of people just choose to ignore it. Or people, secretly taking certain bits, man, but they don't want to do the job. They don't actually want to commit themselves to the word. They don't want to do that. They just want to, it's like these guys, in the scriptures of Mars Hill, they just like taking in philosophies, taking in concepts and ideas, and just making their own stuff out of it. Man, that's what they like doing. They like taking knowledge and just using it, making themselves sound deep. That's what the whole Black unconscious movement is about, man. Just making each other, making themselves sound deep, but they're not actually doing anything. They're just living in Babylon, man. Trying to make money. That's what they're fucking doing. This is because they're not hearkening unto my words, saith the Lord, which I sent unto them by my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but ye will not hear, saith the Lord. You're not listening to the prophets. You're not really doing, what they're saying. You don't really believe in what they're talking about. And that's your own detriment. I can't remember. I don't think I brought this out. I wanted to bring it out earlier though. Luke 21 verse 15. For I'll give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries should not be able to gainsay nor resist. Right. So that's it. Ministry is being pushed out. At the beginning, people don't want to take it in, right? But as time has gone on and these things are manifested, people are talking less and less shit about certain things now. Right? They can't resist it because what's happened? They're seeing the things that we're speaking about, and so they're talking about it now. And so this thing creeping into the back of people's mind, maybe what these guys are saying is right, but I'm not feeling this other part where they're talking about, oh yeah, they're right on this, but this thing I don't deal with that. You always make some excuse but really it's always just the Lord keeping you awake. Like you ain't meant to get this, man. Lord, you ain't meant to get this truth, man. You ain't you ain't a part of this, man. So you might pick up on the certain things, and you think, yeah, that makes sense, but on other things, the Lord is just keeping you away, man. Like I said, making the table a snare unto you, man. Just keeping you, just keeping you away at arm's distance. Just keep those guys away, man. I don't want them in this thing, right? But the same can be said for these other camps. The Lord is resisting you, resisting the proud, right? That you can't or won't receive these things because of your arrogancy and the pride that's in these camps, and under these leaders, beginning with the leaders, really, right? Because they don't want to admit, or they've been sold out to reject that teaching, to hide that from the people, man. But like I said, he's like even these guys out there in the world, they can see what it is that we're talking about, but you guys, you can't see it or refuse to teach it for one reason or another, right? How could it be that you camps as Israelite camps can't see the truth to these prophecies about the MLTB and such? How can you not see that? How can everybody else see it but you can't see it? You may be in a worse situation than these guys in the world, man. Guys like Kat and Joe. These they're wary. They're cautious about the whole implantable device thing. You guys, man, you sound like you signed up for it. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Right? That's the job of the prophet to do. The job of the men of the Lord, the elect, are out there to go out and teach these prophecies, man. Right? That's the spirit of Yahushua speaks about, right? And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. That's what's going to happen to these guys. Anyone doesn't believe, that's how the Lord's going to deal with them. Right? You're going to end up making a whole bunch of wrong decisions, and you're going to end up being destroyed. Right? You're going to have no protection. Right? It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that's what's coming on this place, man. That's what's about to materialize on this earth. And what are these people going to do in that time? How are they going to defend themselves? How are they going to survive? The only way through it is if the defense of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's it. And if the Lord ain't with you to do that, then things are not going to look good for you. Whether you know what the MLTB is or not. All right. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right. So you got a whole bunch of people out there, preppers and all those types of people, right, that are ready for civil war and all these kinds of things, right? But just knowing about it is one thing, but doing what's required to survive is a whole different thing, right? And these people are going to trust in themselves, in the ammos and weapons that they've stocked up, in the food that they've stocked up. They're going to trust in those things because they thought they were prudent. They thought they were the ones. Oh, I saw this coming. I understood this, and so I prepped this and did this so I could survive. You did. You may do all these things, like I mentioned, but if the Lord isn't with you, man, none of these things are going to mean anything. All right, those types of guys are not the ultimate guys on the planet, right? Because they'll show you in these movies, the guys that were prepared for all these eventual, all these situations. That these are the guys everyone needs to go to. And in the logical sense, it makes a lot of sense that these are the guys you need to find out because they were up on the game or early before you find yourself in the shit. These are the guys are more grounded and more stable, right? But the most stable people in the world are going to be the men of the Lord, the elect. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and we have the greatest amount. We have the whole truth. These preppers already got some percentage of knowledge that is going to help them to a certain degree, but they're not the ultimate guys to go to. It's going to be us. Scripture speaks about making the man more precious than a fine wedge of Ophir, gold Ophir, right? Let's talk about men of the Lord, man. Men that have this truth. Okay, we're going to be the most valuable people on the planet, man. Because if everything's going to, it's going to work differently for us. Because of the Lord, It's Revelations 14:9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, right? And this is what we were trying to avoid, right? So, like I said, there's some guys that know that, this RFID implantable thing, you don't want that. Because some people believe in this. Some people believe that if you take the MLTB, that this is what's going to happen to you. So there are people that are clued up enough to think that I don't want to do this or I don't want to take that because this is how it's going to end up, right? So you might know that much. That's all good. Okay, but what beyond that? What beyond that? What is it you got to do? You think you can just do it yourself? I just want to take the chip, and that'll be cool. So it's not going to work out like that, man. Right? So then the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right? It's like we've been teaching that for a long time. And now, we're coming into the days where you start to see it manifesting. You got Neuralink and these other companies, putting chips in people's brains and stuff, right? And so you had the hand chips a while back, going on for a while now. Right, all these things are going to become more prevalent in society. Okay, and probably quicker than you think. En masse. We've had the first public case with Neuralink, and everyone's like kind of clapping and being wowed by the quote unquote miracles that this technology is able to do. So it's giving people time to embrace it and to believe in this technology. And to allay the fears of those that maybe think that, on the fence about it, we don't know if this technology is bad or good or whatever. But, it's all part of the tactics Esau implements. This is Revelation 21, verse 8. We'll close up with this, right? It says, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right, so that's what we know is going to happen to these guys that take that mark. You know, because even in the video they were speaking about the whole Neuralink thing as well, because they were talking about the MLTB in the thing, and yeah, that's what it is, and they can at least see that much, which is good, but there's more to it. There's more to it than just knowing what it is, right? But like I said, it puts a shame on these other Israelite camps that can't see it. The Lord is made them more blind in a way, even though they have other things, more correct in terms of certain teachings of the scriptures, but they can't see one of the most important things, which is this MLTB, man, which is a damn shame. But it's like these average people are having these conversations out there, man, and just on a random conversation, sometimes you don't even provoke conversation, right? And people just come out with some crazy shit sometimes, things you don't expect them to say. And people just know how this world is just run down, it's bullshit, it's fucking wicked, and they just know. you don't expect to just come out and say these things sometimes, but they just say it sometimes, man, because the spirit is being oppressed in this place, man. People's spirits are just fucked up here. And the world is just wicked and evil, and people will see it, man. And they're discussing these things like AI and these implantable devices and government control. They're all talking about it, man. And it's crazy. So it's not. What we're doing is has an effect on this world, man. This word has an effect on the world. These prophecies are having an effect on the people, man. Because we're coming into those times, man. They can see that these devices, these things can actually play the role of their MLTB. It can. The other Israelite camps, man, you're trying to deny it, man. As they've been in denial, as if it couldn't possibly be that. But everybody else can see it. It's so dumb. But that's what leads us to believe that a lot of you guys are just paid off, man. You leaders and stuff, taught to teach deception. Because that could be the only the only explanation, man. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there. Lord, when this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So next time I say shalom.